Welcome to the 249th episode of the Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on September 8th, 2021. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show with me is the man who is currently scanning Game Pass, Carlos Rodella.
Those are my eyes scanning Game Pass.
Like high-tech scanning back and forth.
Yeah, and it's going that fast because I played so much of them.
That's true. Just out of curiosity, I haven't taken a look at Game Pass like today. I mean, I think I looked at it a couple days ago. And I mean, what is up there? Like 150 games or something like that? Like out of those,
say a number at the top.
It's more than 100 for sure. Like when you take into account all of the EA stuff and the Ubisoft stuff or whatever, it's probably closer to 200, honestly. But so like just if you had to take a guess, today snapshot into Game Pass, how many of those 200 games do you think you've at least played for like 5 minutes? Not necessarily beaten, but that you've tried.
What's the number you said?
Probably close to 200, I'm guessing.
I'd say like 175, bruh.
Really? That high?
It's
Seriously?
really that high? Okay, watch. We're going to do it like real time right now because I have it up, okay?
Okay, real time.
And I'll turn my mouth to the microphone. Hopefully you can still hear me. So I'm going to just one row, okay? One row Game Pass.
Okay.
Red Dead Online, played it.
Sure.
Remnant from the Ashes, played it. We talked about in the show.
We did.
Resident Evil Biohazard, played it. I talked about in the show. River City Girls, played it. Rocket Arena, didn't play it. Oh, and Rush, a Disney Pixar. Okay, I didn't play that one either. Let's do the next one.
Okay, one more in real time.
One more in real time. Rise, Son of Rome, of course I played it. Scourgebringer, I played it, I didn't like it. Scream Ride, I did not play. It's a weird old school game. It's like one of the first games, right?
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Sea of Solitude, interesting. I think I played the demo. Yeah, I did. Sea of Thieves, of course. Beyond Extinction? I think we played it, right?
Beyond Extinction? God, I don't even remember.
I think it's
dinosaurs.
It says it's a game preview. Yeah, with dinosaurs. Yeah, we played it.
Yeah,
so there you go. That's two rows, and the only two that I really did play are like those corny ones, Disney, Pixar, whatever.
Wow, Disney people are offended right now. Yikes.
Sorry, Disney.
If
you keep going down, though, it's like Hello Neighbor played it, Shadow Warrior played it.
I guess that's the downside
whatever
of
we talked about on the show.
Like ours. Yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff on the show, so we cover a lot of ground.
Dude, I'm just finishing the Sims, Skate, and Skate. I played all of them. That's like 80, 90%.
I think you should probably ask for your Game Pass money back, man. I don't know if you're going to get anything out of this service.
Shit. It was fun to do it real time, but it's just so you know, I'm proving it. Like, it's difficult for me.
Yeah, that's true. We do play a lot of games. All right, well, we're going to keep scanning. We'll find you something to play, Carlos. But in the meantime, we have played other things, and we have stuff to talk about.
Yep.
Let's get right to it. I think that you and I are both kind of shooting for a shorter show tonight. I've got a little bit of a headache, folks. Just full disclosure. Just going to peel that curtain way back.
Oh, right. We're supposed to like talk quiet like this, like a NPR podcast.
We're going to do like the ASMR.
Yes. Welcome back to the Video Game podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Carlos Rodella. With me is tried and true veteran of the industry, Brad Galloway. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing real good, Carlos. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I heard you have a headache, so we're going to talk pretty quiet. Is this okay?
This is great. You know who's got a great ASMR voice is John from the Gaming in the Wild podcast. You love that podcast, right?
I do, but I'm also kind of slighted because I just gave you my best ASMR NPR voice, and you're like, you know who has a good voice for this? Not what I just heard.
Yours was good, but dude, his is kind of supreme. I got to just give him a quick shout out real quick.
All right.
Because I was catching up to some episodes on his show because I had some time in the car the other day. So I'm like, I'm going to be driving on the road for a while. I'm going to catch up on podcasts. And the thing that I love, I tweeted him about this. He knows this is not a surprise. The thing that I love the most about the Gaming in the Wild podcast, and folks, if you haven't listened to it, please give it a listen. I love that show. He's got this lovely, chill NPR ASMR voice, and I don't say that as an insult. I think it's amazing. I love listening to his voice. It's so smooth, like just buttered honey just flowing into your ear canal. You know?
Louise.
And like but that's not the best part. The best part is when he says shit where he like disapproves of a game, and he says something that you don't expect to match up with that voice, right? Because like usually when you hear people talk in that voice, it's always like they're saying something nice or they're just delivering news, factual. Like they don't very often like crack down on something, you know. And like he was talking about 12 minutes, which you played a while ago. I think we talked about it either last episode or the episode before. Yep. And he's sitting there and he's talking in his ASMR voice, and he's just kind of like lulling me into like a Zen state, right? And then he's like, I really dislike this game, and I wanted to drop kick it into the fjords. And I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, I can see how that doesn't match up with like the kind of gentle
It's
touch.
like it's amazing when he says shit like that. When I'm like, oh, that's right, he's like a real person, and I like his opinions because he does disapprove of things once in a while, which is great. But to hear it contrast with that silky voice is so amazing. That's my favorite thing. So
That
give
yeah,
it give a listen. Give a listen.
give a listen. And also, I talked to him on Twitter. I'm like, let's have him on the show. We've had guests here before, so let's do it.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we can do that. I would love to have him on the show. He is a great person, great guy. He would be a lot of fun. So we will
Yeah,
do that.
we'll do that. And we were talking about Death Trash because, of course, it's an awesome game, and we talked about it. It's early access, early preview, demo, whatever it is now. Not demo, early access.
Yeah.
And he was saying he was having a hard time not playing more of it. And
Right.
yeah, I can attest. I played the crap out of all of it.
We will definitely have him on at some point. Consider this an invitation, John. We'll get you on the show at some point. Yes, for sure. Okay, anyway, sidetrack over. Let's get to housekeeping. I've only got one thing, Carlos. Do you have anything tonight for housekeeping?
I have a few things, but we'll keep it short. I'll pick a couple.
All right, let's just do a couple things. I'm going to skip the intro just in the interest of time. Yeah, we live in the house. It's split down the middle. Okay, everybody knows. Carlos, what do you got on your side of the house tonight?
Well, first off, State of Play is tomorrow at the time of this recording.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is. Okay.
So it already happened, and it was cool. They showed like games that we already know about.
Are you speaking to us from the future?
Yeah.
Getting all timey-wimey?
Yeah, you guys are listening to this now, and gals. So it's Friday, but so the show already happened, and it was almost not eventful, I'm going to say.
Oh, he's going on record.
I love PlayStation. I just don't. I've not really enjoyed many State of Plays, so I don't really get excited for them.
The last couple have been pretty. I mean, not
Lackluster.
super. Yeah, not super exciting. The last couple in a row. So
No, so that's happening. The other thing is, I have some games on my radar. Remember the old Ion Games Field thing?
yeah, that was from like 70, 72 years ago, I believe. Yeah.
I'm gonna run these down real quick. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go into any detail, but just for our listeners. Obviously, we didn't mention Gamescom talking about Doki V, which is like the new open world Pokemon game that looks incredible.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh
dude.
my goodness, dude! Google it after this.
All right.
Dokev. It's Korean, I believe.
All right.
And it's basically like incredible graphics, third person, like a Pokemon type game, open world. It looks incredible.
Okay.
Road 96 we never talked about. I think it came out and we had mentioned it on the show, I think, before.
Road 96. You know,
So that's a game I could play.
so just a sidetrack on that. Now, I may be completely wrong on this, but that was one of the ones that I think that you and I were both pretty excited about.
Yeah.
But isn't I feel like maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. But isn't the person who is the head of that studio or one of the instrumental people in the game? Didn't they turn out to be a douchebag? I feel like there was
Oh,
some kind of thing
man.
on Twitter recently where they were like, "Whoops, the guy ends up to being a douchebag. We can't support this game anymore." Is that this game? I feel like it is.
don't know, but can we put our hands over our ears and go la 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 and just play it?
Man, I'll Google this after the show. We'll find
right.
out. We're putting like a red flag on this one, maybe. Yellow
All right.
flag.
Okay. Yellow flag on that. And then yellow card. By the
I
way,
don't know if that's a thing or not.
it is in football, and Ted Lasso is amazing. I gotta say, I was not giving it a shot. I'm finally in. If you've not watched it, I recommend it to everybody. It's incredible.
On my list. It's on my list. Haven't
Oh my
seen
goodness!
it.
I'll tell you real quick. The main reason I think a lot of people like it and why I like it is that I think it was said much more eloquently than I will say in an article. But it's like if you took a very, very positive person and put him in this world, right? This world of like jaded,
The
greed, all that
dystopia
stuff.
we're living in.
Yes, that what would happen? Really, that's what it is. And I see myself as like a Ted Lasso in a way because I do bring positivity to like almost every single situation ever. And I'm like, my goal is to make people happy and laugh. And, that's what he does, although he's like a football coach, soccer coach.
Gotcha.
And it's just so cool to see that juxtaposition. And it's so well acted. Can't recommend it enough. That came out of, I forgot what, Tangent. And then also, Song of Iron came out, which I wanted to play, made by one guy, 2D Viking game.
It's 2D.
Yeah, 2D.
I'm thinking of the different. There've been a lot of Viking games lately. There's been a real resurgence in
Yeah.
Norse-themed games lately. I'm having trouble keeping them separate in my head. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look
this one's
up.
Song of Iron. Yeah,
It's on Xbox, right?
Yeah, it looks 3D but 2D style. I think I might pick that up as my game to play in case I can't find anything on Game Pass. So check that out,
Oh,
people.
okay, yes, yes. I'm looking
Looks
at the
really
trailer
cool.
right now. Yes, I have seen this. It is on Xbox. Yes, it's like 2.5D or something like that.
Yeah. And
Gotcha. Okay.
lastly, this is out. We talked about Lake, and we haven't talked about it on the show since it came out. So we should both download it and play it and bring it to the show because
Yeah,
Lake is out.
I bought it. I bought it,
Okay.
and I heard that day that I bought it, I heard a lot of people saying how buggy it was. So I was like, well, I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. Hopefully, they're gonna get some of those bugs ironed out because I heard a lot of people say they really, really like it, but they're bummed out because they're running into like a lot of bugs, which are kind of taking away from the experience, which I'm not a fan of. So we
Okay.
may, I don't know. Well, hopefully they're gonna get it patched up soon.
Okay. That's all for me. And also, real quick side note, next episode, not this episode, but next episode, I will be bringing the soundboard to our podcast.
Nice.
So we'll have some sound effects, but not this episode. Sorry. This is the quiet. This is the quiet episode.
No worries, no worries. Not much in terms of housekeeping for me. Just one really quick note. Last week we talked about Blackout, The Darkest Night, that kind of like text adventure slash choose your own adventure PC game that you and I were both a fan of. The creator of that game, his name is Robson Siebel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Apologies if I'm not. Sent me a message after the show. He heard the show and he said, thanks for the coverage. And we say, thank you for your cool game. But he just wanted to clarify really quickly. I don't remember exactly what we said, but I think we were not sure whether he was a one-man studio or not.
Oh.
So he wrote in and he said, hey, I made most of the game myself, including writing, programming, and game design. The art was done by a friend of mine who is basically the other half of the studio, even though at some point I did hire someone to help him out, and the music and sound effects were outsourced. So just to clarify, not a one-man studio, but a very small studio, and, looks like maybe 3 people, maybe 3.5 at the most. So thank you very much, Robson, for that clarification. And folks, give Blackout: The Darkest Night a look-see. I am not done with it yet, but I am slowly chipping my way through, and I will have a report as soon as I roll credits on that.
Yeah, we'll both come back to that and talk about it in the show, and I like it a lot. Choose your own adventure extraordinaire.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, also, I was going to say real quick on that point, there is a lot of indie developers because friend of the show, Robbie from the game Dragon Audit, which we mentioned on the show.
Dragon Audit, yes.
Yeah, he did something similar where a lot of it's him, and then he outsourced some music and some graphics and stuff like that. So I think that's a really good way for people who are kind of overwhelmed by the game making process. Do a lot yourself, you can, but you can always reach out and get just a little bit here and there to help you get over the finish line.
Oh yeah, dude, this is the gig economy, man. Everybody's looking to do a piece of art. Everybody's looking to do a piece of music for a couple bucks. I mean, there's folks out there. I could jump on Twitter literally right now and say, "Hey, I need an art project and I'm paying $100." And in real time, I would have 5 names for you in the next 30 seconds.
Right.
There's people out there who want to do this, so definitely get some outsourced help if you need help if you're making a game, or just do it for fun.
Yep.
All right, cool. We're done with housekeeping. Let's roll on. We're going to try to get the express train moving on the show.
This is going to be the fastest episode ever. I'm going to say it right now. Watch.
All right, maybe. Very possible. Also,
Let's
before we roll on, shout out to Britta, who is called Food for Dogs on Twitter. She is going to be looking forward to this episode because she is very interested in our thoughts on Crown Trick, which we'll get to in just a moment. But I wanted to say hello to Britta before we moved on and before I forgot.
Hello.
Hello, Britta. She's so great. Did you follow her on Twitter?
I don't think so.
She is wonderful. You should look her up. The very first time I encountered her, I thought it was a joke account because her name is Food for Dogs, which has nothing to do with video games. And when I clicked on her picture, she's I'm going to be very respectful and say she is a mature lady. And I was like, is this really the lady who runs this account that talks about games all the time? That's weird. That is contrary to my expectations. I better check my expectations, self. And so she actually ended up being really super cool and exactly what she looks like. And I don't remember why she named her account that, but she is really great. She does YouTube videos. She just got an Xbox. She talks about RPGs all the time. She's great. So Food 4, as in the number 4, dogs. Check her out on Twitter if you don't already. I think she's definitely worth a follow.
I'm following her now, and also her headline is really cool on the Twitter. It says "Retired on Vita Island with 8 Vitas."
Yeah, she's the best. She knows her shit about Vita. That's one of the things that got me following her. Yeah, she's great. Hey, Britta. Okay, moving on. Let's get to the show. The Plane Effect. You played a demo. I don't know literally anything about this game at all. I think I've heard the title. That's all I know. Carlos, what is The Plane Effect?
Yeah, the demo came up on Xbox, I think, is where I played it. And it's still up there now, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And it is very much like a Limbo or Inside type game, right? If you know those games, they're very dark, simple graphics, kind of, what's the word for that style.
Like the
It's
really heavy use of black kind of a thing?
yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, heavy use of darks and omnipresent feel. Maybe that's right. Did I use that word right?
I
Nope.
don't think so. No.
Damn it! I finally failed a word. What's
Yeah.
the? I didn't mean omnipresent. I mean
Oppressive is what I think you mean.
no. I think I
Oppressive?
do need omnipresent, like always around.
Yeah. I
Omnipresent.
mean, yeah, but I don't know if that's. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. I'm not sure that that's how you use that word, but we're gonna look
Oh,
that
it
up.
isn't. It isn't. There's another word. Okay. Anyways, it's basically like Inside or Limbo, where it's an adventure game. It's isometric, so it's not 2D, right?
Okay.
And it's a dystopian future, et cetera, et cetera. We've heard it before.
Set in the modern day.
Set now, yesterday. And you basically follow a lonely office worker who is it starts in an office, and it's, it looks beautiful. Like this whole game looks beautiful. But at its heart, it's an adventure puzzle game. But you're basically trying to, get out of the office in the beginning. That's the first thing they give you. And you can just, you start piecing together the world by just walking around it and seeing, signs or seeing kind of like, the feel of what this guy's job is in the office and stuff. So the very first puzzle is like you find a paper airplane. And I think that's going to obviously come back into play a lot because it's called the plane effect. And you throw the paper airplane somewhere and it knocks down an ID card so you can get out of the building. But then you get to the subway station and then there's a puzzle there. So it seems like every little scene is a little teeny bit of story in the fact of world building, and learning about this guy's life and what this world is and what this kind of, company is, etc. But it's also at the heart, it's just like, how do you get to the next stage?
Gotcha.
And similar to like Inside and Limbo and those games where you can die a lot, but then you just come back to life and try again. It's that same style. Like I was in the subway and, just kind of like confused on what to do. And I saw like these gloves in the middle of the subway tracks. And there's like light on it. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to go get those. But what they don't tell you is that if you, because you control your guy moving around, you can like touch the third rail or whatever and like electrocute yourself. So I immediately died like a bunch of times because I had to maneuver just the right way, to get the gloves.
Right.
But then once you get the gloves, you can turn you can touch the box that's electrocuted to set the switch, and then finally get a card and leave and go on the train. So it's that kind of game. I haven't played too much of it, but I just do love the look of it. So I kind of brought it to the show to make it aware to people or make people aware of it. And yeah, it really does change quite drastically from like if you look at the trailer and some of the pictures and GIFs, like you're in a car, you're underwater. It really is that kind of what other game has done this? I guess Limbo and Inside.
There's another game that I'm thinking of, which was kind of the same thing, where you were like in a real dystopian kind of office environment. I didn't play it, but I think we reviewed it at Game Critics. I remember seeing it, like a guy with a beard or something, and it was kind of making the rounds as kind of like a maybe an indie darling, maybe not. That's kind of what it's reminding me of, even though it doesn't look the same. But that same theme of like office work, trying to connect with people.
Oh, what was that? Because I played it, and you know what's funny? That game does a lot of what this game does, in the fact that it starts in this dystopian black and white dark world, but it gets more colorful, it gets more dreamlike, and then you're like in totally different settings. Like I said, you're underwater, right? Like it doesn't make any sense. And that game you're talking about, which maybe you'll find as you're tapping away.
I'm trying. I don't think I'm going to find it. I'm not.
But that game had that thing, remember, where like you'd go into another like Wonderland or something, and it would come out into a different world. So whatever that game is, it's so similar.
Whatever that game is. I wish I could remember what it is, so I can totally see the guy's face in my head, because his face was all over the PR materials, but I never played it, and so it's not really cemented in my brain. Anyway, oppressive office environments. It's a thing that game developers talk about because they probably all feel it, and I think that's a very common thing we can all relate to. But yeah, the graphics for the plane effect look very artistic, very dark, very angular, very geometrical. It looks pretty neat. This is definitely something that I would want to give a shot to. So you say the demo is still up on Xbox, correct?
Yeah, I believe it is, and there's no reason not to play the demo. And again, I gotta stress that it really does just jump away from the office setting. I just don't want to give away too much, because similar to that other game we can't think of the name of, it's cool when you don't know what's going to happen. So that's how it starts, but then it totally changes, and then you get to experience really interesting environments with this little businessman.
Excellent.
So I like it.
All right, that is the plane effect, coming soon. Demo up on Xbox right now, possibly other places. There we go. Okay, man. I feel like I have talked about this a million times, but I'm not sure that I have. Did I ever talk about Space Marshals here on the show?
You know, we've done 870,000
We
shows.
have,
I
and I
don't know
feel
if I
like,
know.
oh man, I don't want to repeat the same thing. I was looking really quickly and I didn't see that I did, but I feel like I've talked a lot about it. Okay, maybe I've covered it, maybe I haven't. I'll just really quickly, just quick shout out for Space Marshals on the Switch. It is an isometric game where you use cover and stealth, and it's also kind of like a twin stick shooter a little bit. You play in a space-bound future where you are like a marshal who's on the hunt for some space criminals. The story's not super great, but that's not really the reason to play it. It's kind of one of those games where there's literally nothing special about it, but everything that it does really well. And just because it does that, it's kind of worth playing because it's like a hamburger, right? Like a hamburger is like nothing special. It's like a patty,
Well, it
some
depends on what
lettuce.
kind of meat you have, but go on.
Well, sure, but like the concept of a burger is like you can get a burger a thousand places serve different burgers, whatever. But like when you get a burger that's like the bun is like freshly baked and the patty is super juicy just the way you like it and there's just enough sauce and the onion is fresh, like it's nothing special, but like when it's done perfectly you're like, damn, this is so fucking good, I love
Hmm.
this. This is
Yep.
like what Space Marshals is. It's like a top down isometric shooter. You use stealth. I mean, like you equip a couple different guns, you equip a couple different pieces of armor, like literally nothing special about it, and yet every single piece of it is tuned perfectly. Like it's super easy and playable. The controls work really well. The guns handle really well. There's just enough progression to make you feel like you're making progress every single time. There's just enough collectibles where you feel like it's fun and it's not a drag. And the graphics are like pretty good for the Switch. They're not mind blowing, but it's like, yeah, this is good looking. Like it's like nothing special about this game, and yet it's so polished and people have put so much work into it that it feels like a very fun game to play. And I'm just chipping away at it like a couple levels a night, doing this top down stealth, hide behind things and shoot people when they're turned around and arrest the bad guys in space kind of thing. Like nothing special, and yet it is special.
Hmm.
That is really strange for me, but it's one of those games where describing it does not explain what's great about it. You have to just kind of check it out. And I think the real beauty is in how it feels. It feels so smooth and so easy to play. Everything about it just comes together. It's just really, really done well. So if you want an action oriented, real time game, shooting people, hiding behind things, a little bit of stealth, a couple different guns to equip, if you just want to shoot some stuff on the Switch, this is the perfect game for that. I definitely recommend it, even though it sounds like it's kind of like a backhanded recommendation, which I don't mean it to be. But it is just like everything about it is just perfect.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, like, again, if you do something well, it can be a basic type of gameplay and you really are into it or addicted to it. By the way, this is also on a phone. There's a Google or Android version of it.
Oh, is it? Okay, that
Yeah,
makes perfect
it's
sense to me then.
$4, and also it's on the Microsoft Store, which means you could buy it, I think, and play it on your PC.
There you go. I think it's a perfect fit for the Switch. It's a great port to the Switch. That's really readable, controls well. But I can imagine it being fine on any of those other platforms. Anyway, quick shout out to Space Marshals. I've really been enjoying it and I like it a lot, even though it's kind of puzzling because there's nothing really outstanding about it, but everything about it is just really, really well done. So
Cool.
Space Marshals is good. Another quick shout out to Curious Expedition 2. I guess more of a circle back than a shout out. I talked about this a couple episodes ago. This is the 2D, kind of like a roguelike, semi RPG sort of a game where you play like explorers back in the day. Like it was like when those British people were bored and they needed to go conquer Africa because they had nothing better to
Oh,
do, and so they would
jeez.
go over there. You know what I'm talking about? That period
The
of history.
horrific times, the
Yeah,
horrific
it's terrible.
things
It's
they've done.
terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Those people, European people, going to other countries to like steal their artifacts and to spread disease to their people because they were bored in England. I don't know what you call that exact period in history, but like when you see it on TV, like recently, the Jungle Cruise that The Rock and Emily Blunt was in. You see the
Right,
commercials for
right, right,
that.
right. Yeah.
Like that period of like where they're wearing the poofy shirts and they're on like a wooden boat and they're going down like
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
Amazon
yeah.
River
I
or
believe it
whatever.
was called the asshole phase or the asshole era.
That very
A
well may
bunch of
have been.
assholes in dumb clothing going and conquering things they shouldn't have done. Yeah,
Yes,
that
literally
era.
that exactly. So that's what this game is. You play a person who is hiring people to go explore. You got the poofy shirt. You're bored back in England, and you're sending people out to go explore. Um, so I tried to bring this to the show a couple episodes ago, and what happened was I hit a bug in the tutorial. if you remember, I tried to get through the tutorial and I got stuck and I could not figure out what was going on. I thought maybe I was misunderstanding things, and I spent a lot of time on it, and I just realized, well, this has just got to be a bug because this doesn't make sense. And yeah, there was a bug. The developers told me to simply skip the tutorial and move on, which to me is not a proper answer. I think the proper answer is fix your tutorial. But apparently that bug was really crafty and was really good at not being squashed. Anyway, deleted the game, waited a while, downloaded it again, and I tried the tutorial again, got through it this time, which was great. And I'm really glad that I went back to it because I really did want to see the tutorial. I feel like there was good information there. I'm glad I finished it and did not just go into the main game as they told me to. So I'm just scratching the surface of it now. I really like the mechanics of it. I think it's really good. You get to a new land, you explore. There's like fog of war all over the whole land, so you don't really know where anything is. You're kind of just blindly exploring. Along the way, you meet people like natives or indigenous people. If you treat them with respect, they will sometimes join you and help you out. If you don't treat them with respect, then you've got a fight on your hands. There's monsters. There's like giant spiders and all sorts of weird, things you'll run into. There's like alien technology that you can find. It's a good
Whoa.
blend of things, and it's kind of like this weird exploring back when anything would happen, right? Like I guess back in those days they never knew what the limits of reality were. So
Right,
maybe
it could
there
be
was gonna
giant
be
ants around the
exactly,
corner.
exactly
Yeah.
giant ants. There could be a pyramid literally made of gold. There could be, who knows what, right? Like you're gonna find the edge of the earth where you just empty space after that. Who knows?
By the way, it turns out there was no pyramid of gold, and they just slaughtered a bunch of people. So, fun
Basically.
fact.
Fun fact. Fun fact.
By the way,
Educational.
I'm not on board with this game just based on the premise, but go ahead. Keep
Well, see,
going.
I called that out in my review. I reviewed the very first Curious Expedition, and that was a major thing that I called out. And I said, hey, your game mechanics are fun because I think that putting all this stuff into a roguelike structure is cool. You putting together a party of people is really fun. Exploring a land that you don't know where you're going is pretty fun. Trying to figure out, negotiate whatever the people who live there and the dangers that you don't know about and trying to find stuff. Like those mechanics are all fun, but with Curious Expedition 1, I did have a lot of problem with like the setting, right? Like this setting of like English people being bored and going to these other countries, and it just didn't sit right with me, right? And it still doesn't sit right with me. So I will vocally say that I'm uncomfortable with the subject material from that particular perspective, especially since colonization is something that we're talking so much about these days. But strictly from a gameplay perspective, I think it's really well done. I think it's put together really well. It looks good. It controls good. Once I got past that bug at the tutorial, I've had no problems with it. So I think it's a fun game to play. It's got good systems. It's a good roguelike that is not like your typical roguelike because it's so exploration based. So I think there's a lot of good things about it. But yeah, I do have a really hard time getting behind the theme. It just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah. But yeah, again, it's similar to, I don't know if it's similar, but you have a band, or like we just talked about earlier, there was a game that we might want to play, but we heard the developer's a douchebag, right? Do we still play the game? Or like the band you really like, they're all, 3/4 of them are douchebags and they do terrible things, but you really like the albums. It's like, this game is fun, but you're not like 100% on board with the idea. By the way, this brings up a good quick tangent, but your final thoughts are you like the gameplay.
I like the mechanics of it. I think it runs well on the Switch. It's a good port.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with the material, but otherwise I think it's a good game.
Yeah. So here's my quick tangent. I forgot who said this, but someone said, like, wouldn't it be funny if, all of a sudden those spaceships, which by the way are showing up everywhere now, which is interesting, they finally land. And
are you talking about the spaceships in real life? That
in real life. No, in real life. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so they show up like in real life, and then one of them lands finally, and the doors open up, and who comes out is a 10-foot Native American. And they have like laser rifles and everything. And what happened was, and this could be a video game, but someone came up with this idea. So like when they were getting slaughtered and like, wiped out, a bunch of them like were working at technology and like left, right? And they just like went somewhere, I don't know, Mars or something. And then they like honed in on like sci-fi, working on their tech gadgets. And now they're coming back.
That would be an amazing game. That sounds like an amazing book. It would make an amazing movie. Like anybody who wants to run with that idea, that sounds amazing.
I know. Yes. I don't know who I heard it from, but I was like, I always think about like, the role reversal of like what a lot of these games do is they take, real life, which happened. It's just European settlers making shit, But it'd be fun to see the opposite every once in a while. Just the opposite.
Yeah. Speaking of which, just another tangent off your tangent. I don't know that I necessarily want to mention the title of this game because I don't want to give attention to something that may not deserve it. But
Okay.
I was scrolling through the eShop, and I really like Western games a lot. I like the Western theme, the cowboys, 6 shooters on your side, riding horses. That kind of appeals to me. So anytime a game like that pops up, I check it out. I picked one up for $5, and that is within my gambling range, right? Like I'm happy to throw away $5 if it might be a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
This was not a good game. What ended up happening was it's a game where you choose between one of three. I don't know, cowboy western themed. There, one was a lady, one was a regular looking cowboy dude, and one was kind of like a greasy looking villain type dude. Um, Literally, the entire game was you going into these 2D environments and shooting Native Americans. That's all you did.
Awesome.
I was like, what is this? What is this real? I'm like, how did this get on the eShop? I'm like, this can't be it, right? Like, this can't be it. I'm like, the first level was just me shooting people who were depicted in a very racist trope Native American way, which was not cool. So I'm like, well, okay, let me get to the second level and see what happens. Nope, more of that. And I was just like, I deleted it immediately, and I'm like, how did this make it out of the eShop? Who made this game?
Ugh.
What is going on? Not fucking cool. I'm
And
not going to say the title, but
You shouldn't. And I think I know what the game is. I saw like a trailer for it, and I was like, oh, no, 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 no.
yeah,
No, no,
just,
no, no, no.
ugh, not cool. Man.
Tangent
Really
off your
not cool.
tangent. This is a tangent tree.
Triple tangent.
It's supposed to be a short episode, but really quickly. Remember one of the only Native American games I had, or we have as natives, to play was that one that came out, and I can't think of the name of it right now.
Is it My Land Is Your Land?
That's it.
There
And
you go.
right? Isn't that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Third person, right? You're Native
Yeah.
American. Yeah.
Yeah, you played it.
Yeah, I played it. And even with my souped up computer, I got a new computer at some point, it still ran bad and it still was a little janky. And I was like, this is all I got, And even though I was like, set on like being a Native American and doing this thing where some of the stuff was really cool, strategy and adventure and action stuff, it's just tough to play it because it's kind of jank. So it's frustrating. There's no Native American warrior games for me.
Not a lot of good representation out there.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I was right. Omnipresent. Present everywhere at the same time. That's what I meant, like a foreboding feeling.
I thought you meant omnipresent, but you meant omnipresent.
Oh, did I say omnipresent?
I mean, I thought you said it, but
I think I
could
was
be
saying
wrong.
omnipresent, and then but I was right.
Okay, good.
So I haven't failed the
Confirmed.
word yet. Yay.
Confirmed. There we go. All right. Moving on. Let's talk really quickly about Craftopia. You brought it to the show, I want to say last week. You kind of found it on, Game Pass or something like that?
Yeah.
This is the third-person crafting weird open-world game. I watched the trailer of it, and I was just, blown away by how
I know.
bonkers the trailer is. It's like dragons and Minecraft and the Akira motorcycle, and then you're in a tank, and then you're flying, and then there's like aliens, and you're farming, and there's a robot, and I'm like, what is even happening in this game? Oh my god! I gotta get. Oh my god! I gotta get into this game. I told my son about it after you brought it to the show. He jumped into it and he loved it. He just
Oh yeah.
he went whole hog
Oh,
into
yeah.
it. And he's like, Dad, you gotta play with me. And I'm like, cool, but I've got 47 million other games to play for review first. I do plan on getting to it, but I am very excited to hear your new update on Craftopia. And I'm wondering, do you still love it, or did you burn out and do you hate it now?
No, I still love it.
Okay.
I'm on the verge of burning out because it's a lot, and it is a type of game that I don't normally play, which is, it kind of never ends, right?
Right,
And
right.
it's got a lot of simulator stuff in it and survival, but it's fantastic and weird, and I love both of those things. I definitely like weird. And you said let's talk about it shortly. It's kind of hard to talk about. I've been playing this almost nonstop, but I'll try my best to make it a quick, short version. Now, it is single player or multiplayer, and it is a survival action game, but with RPG kind of true RPG elements, and the fact that you have a pretty in-depth skill tree. And then you have, so many weapons you can find or make. And so there's crafting. Crafting is a massive part of it, and I'm never a fan of that. But this, for some reason, it's just so fun, and you're constantly getting things, whether it be resources or leveling up. And I'll tell you how the game loop works here in a minute. But because it does stuff so action-based, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
where you're just
Yeah,
running
it's real-time
around.
action where you're doing combat and stuff.
Yeah, you're
It's
just
not
doing stuff all the
strict
time.
Minecraft.
Yeah. And that the crafting, all that stuff happens, and the planting of seeds, and there's gardening and stuff and fishing. But really, it is just the moment to moment gameplay is fun because it's basically Wind Waker. Is that right? Zelda's or Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. I always say
Breath of the
Wind
Wild,
Waker.
yeah.
It's that style. Genshin Impact mixed with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds about it. Yeah.
Same colorful thing. It's not like the best graphics in the world, but they're good. And the other thing that I like about it, which I like in my games, it's got jank. I mean, it's got weird jank. The first jank is there's seagulls in the game, and I just stood next to one, and all of a sudden I was riding on the seagull as he took off.
I saw that video you posted of you standing straight up,
Straight
not even
still.
balancing or anything,
Nope.
on top of that seagull's head. It was pretty amazing.
And he flew for a while, and I was like, all right, where are we going? So there's a lot of weird jank in it, but that makes it adorable. Like, it's really like adds charm to it. So what is the game? Here's the other thing that's so fun. The very beginning, whatever, spoiler, it's the beginning of the game. You start the game, and you literally are looking at a button, and you can only do one thing is push a button on your controller. You push a button, it pushes the button on the screen, and it blows up the world. And then you are in like in a heaven type place, and the angel's like, "Oh, you fucked up. You just blew up the whole earth." And I was like, "I had no choice." So she's like, "It's okay. We're gonna let you start over, and you can start with another earth." And so essentially, they give you like I don't know if it's randomly generated or not, but it's probably partially randomly generated. And you go into a door, you go into this planet, and you start on like one little section, right? It's like a little island. And you look at the overworld map, and there's like many, many blocks, and those are the different kind of like places you'll go to at some point. But in the beginning, you're just on this one island. It's pretty big. And, there's all animals there, there's monsters, there's dungeons, and there's just so much to do. Brad, I could see why your kid got into it, or anybody would. Because the minute you get dropped in there, think Minecraft with Breath of the Wild, you just never want to leave. There's just like so much little fun stuff to do. So with the jank, with that stuff, the other thing that's really cool is, there is definitely crafting. I made a little house. I never get too much into that stuff. But if you want that, I mean, there's so much stuff you can make. Every time you upgrade, like, let's say your weapon table or your, whatever, like just the little tables you make stuff at, it presents new things you can make, right? And here's the loop of the game. Kill monsters, get experience points. There's, again, an insane skill tree. Like, from just combat or just, like, acrobatics or just, like, sneaking. There's one that's called tricks. You can, like, play dead for some reason.
A lot Does that, like, get you to escape from a bear or something?
Yeah. There's just so much skills. And so if you just went in for, like, leveling up and opening skills and, and they do a really good job of, like, there's these little cards that say, do 2 or 3 things on this card, then you'll complete it, and you'll get experience points. So, like, an example is, like, make the garden, right? Plant the wheat, harvest the wheat, do something else, and then you get experience points. Or it, like, expands your inventory, which is really important. So there's all these little mini tutorials that is another hook. Because if, you keep getting, like, little notifications that say, hey, you just beat this one thing, it's like a dopamine rush. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Just the little check marks in your head that kind of keep you going. That little chemical rush. That's like, oh, I got a goodie. I did a thing. I want more of that feeling. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's the main gameplay that is so addictive, and making stuff, of course, and seeing the weird jank that happens. And then the second one is there's 2 parts. One, you build a couple different items on your island. One of them is you progress the age. And so if you have enough things, and if you built enough things to fill the requirement, you can progress the age to the next stage, which basically is like, instead of building wood tables, you can make, metal stuff. And so it keeps going in that direction. And that's why you see all the crazy stuff in the trailer, because your goal is to basically bring civilization back and build more and more high-tech stuff.
Does it seem like there's an end to this game, or is it just like one of those open world, you're just going to dink around forever?
I don't know. I mean, like, looking at what you can build in it, you don't ever need to beat it, because it's like, it's crazy the kind of the ambitions you could have. One example is there's these, for some reason, like hamster wheels that you can put animals in, and they like charge your batteries for you.
Oh yeah, those animal powered generators. Yeah. So my son had those. That was awesome.
Yeah, you can make 1,000,000 of them, and you just have that like a farm of them. It's really weird. But the cool thing about the age thing is it looks fantasy, but now I just opened up a motorcycle, and I just recently got a hoverboard, and that is really fun. Just like the hoverboard around the island.
That's what's got me interested, is like seeing the juxtaposition of all those things, because it starts out just like a real basic kind of like a, like it seems like what it's going to go, animals and chopping logs and crafting, but then the motorcycle and the tank and the dragons and the like the aircraft, and it's like, oh, okay, well, there's all sorts of other I love seeing that jumble of elements, right?
Yeah. And the second gameplay loop, or third, I think at this point, is you can make some sort of statue thing, and it lets you go to the different parts of the map that I was saying. So you start at the island, then there's like slowly boxes around you open up, and then you can pick those and travel to them. And they're different biomes. Like the one I just went to was Fall Land, and it was like all the colorful fall trees, and there was pumpkins, and there was like ghosts in a cemetery, and it immediately made you want to play more, right? Because it's not like the same thing, rinse and repeat. Now you're in a different area, and it feels different. And then there's also more resources. Like I've never had pumpkin before, so now I might be able to craft something with it. So it is an endless loop, wildly addictive. And there is also supernatural shit. Like there's a god in the sky in most of the islands. You have to go like build a ramp up to talk to him, and then he can like upgrade you more. It's just so much, man. The dungeons are pretty simple, but they're fun. And there's a boss. Beat the boss, you get another upgrade.
I didn't realize there was even dungeons in that game.
There's
My son is in none of the
dungeons.
dungeons.
There's dungeon in every single map that you go to. There's a new dungeon. And then there's like a time trial thing, or like you have to climb these walls. It just kind of doesn't end. It's weird. It's made by Pocket Pair, by the way. I believe they're Korean or Asian company of some sort. And they just built this world. It's hard to leave. So short answer is I love it. It's weird as fuck. I love it. But I can see myself maybe burning out because I don't know. I haven't yet, but I could see it potentially happening.
Probably got to pace yourself on something like that.
Yeah, it's. I've never played something like it. Really, it's a really cool mix of things that I wasn't expecting to be sinking so much time into.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting into it. I don't have time for it right now, but like I'm watching my son play it, watching over his shoulder, and I'm like, oh, that looks really fun. I mean, janky but rough, but also like really fun. It's got that wild spirit that kind of reminds me a little bit of like the PS2 days when like anything goes. Like you would never know what you were going to get, and like people were really being experimental.
Yeah.
And trying just weird stuff, and not putting so much money into like the polish and the presentation, but really trying to get concepts out there and just trying new mechanics. And that's what this reminds me of. It really looks experimental and goofy and fun. And yeah, it's kind of janky and rough, but I mean, who cares as long as it brings like the energy and the freshness. So I'm gonna check it out like as soon as I get a chance, I will.
Speaking of the jank, just real quick, is like like I built a house, but like the birds don't give a shit. There's a house, so like there's always a bird in my house because his little route for he's supposed to fly is like in my house or it's in that path, right? And then every once in a while I come home and there's like just bird shit. And I'm like, oh, it's because he has to shit every once in a while, I guess. And I guess I'm going to get it on my house now. And another funny time was like, I just was building my first house and I wasn't really strong and I aggroed a bear and the bear was very far away. I mean, very far away. And I ran all the way back to my house and he followed me and he went like in fast forward motion. Like he just went super fast all of a sudden. It looked like a bug. And he just like was like in my window and he was in my house. And I was like kind of okay with that. It was like, oh, and now I've got to deal with this all of a sudden.
There's a super fast bear in my house and I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, that's my real review right there.
There you go. All right, that sounds great. Definitely got to get into that ASAP. I would love to check this out in greater detail. All right, let's get back to the game that we mentioned at the top of the show, Crown Trick, which is the reason that Britta is tuning in this week. So hello again, Britta. This is a 2D roguelike, crafted in the very traditional sense in that nothing moves until you move. Every dungeon is divided up into squares. There's all sorts of little things, but in general, it's a pretty traditional roguelike in that sense. We talked about it actually on episode 205. I knew I brought it to the show when it debuted on Switch. So ran back to the archives, got the big metal key, opened up the door, climbed inside that vault, and I found exactly.
I failed. That's why we need a soundboard. Oh my goodness!
I mean, I know you're going for a squeaky door. I got it.
Wait, I can't do that.
Try again.
Octave. All right. Why can't I go that high?
You need like a sip of water or something, man.
All right. I can't do it. Wait, you do it. Do a creaking door. Do it.
Oh man, I got too much testosterone, man. I can't do it.
Well, then maybe I can't either. You do it. Do it.
Okay.
Just try.
Creak.
Oh, what a pathetic try.
All right. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm in the vault, and episode 205. I got the tapes out, put them on the reel-to-reel tape recorder, and I was listening back to what I said, and I liked it. I liked it a lot back then. I said it was traditional, but had a few cool spins. looked really good, played really good. I had nothing but good stuff to say about it. So I'm glad that I did right by myself back in the day. I always meant to come back to it. In fact, it's been on my Switch this entire time. I never deleted it. Which I mean, I delete so much shit off my Switch. It's kind of a joke. But I do keep the ones I want to come back to. So that was already on my Switch. I never got rid of it. So that means it was already baseline pretty good. And I was surprised to hear that you were getting into this. You could have knocked me over with a feather when you came and said, "Hey, man, I'm playing Crown Trick and I think it's good." And I'm like, "What?" Because that to me is
Ah.
pretty roguey roguelike. That's, I mean, if you were to ask me what a roguelike was, Crown Trick checks most of those boxes. So tell me, kind sir, how did you get into Crown Trick, and like, what is it about this one that you like that does something different than the other roguelikes you've tried?
Yeah, I remember you talking about it, and I remember, glossing it over, probably like, oh, it's another roguelike. I'm not going to like it, whatever.
That's basically word for word what you said.
Yeah, that was my whole review. And then I saw it show up on Game Pass, which was one of the few games I haven't played.
There we go. There we go.
So I checked it out. One, for one, we both love art, and this is just a beautiful art style. It's
Oh,
like
so cute looking.
such incredible animation. Like, I just want to see a whole like short animation short with that
I mean,
style.
the opening cinematic is fucking awesome, dude.
It's
It looks
incredible.
so good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
And then, so the characters are really cool. The characters you meet in the world are also cool. And gameplay wise, I'll tell you why I really like it. And contrary to what you just said, there's a bunch of roguelikes that are just action based that are not, turn by turn. So I would say, isn't that the minority of a
No,
roguelike?
those are the newer ones. If you go back to the beginning of the genre, like when the genre started, it was always turn by turn. Nothing moved until you moved. Like that's
Right,
basically
like
how
the
it
actual
went.
like ASCII games, right?
I mean, yeah, and even past that too. Like some of the most basic ones, like a Shiran or something like that, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, that kind of thing. Like those were all following that template. It's only been recently that people have
Hmm.
gotten into the real time action. Something like Hades or something like that.
Or
Those
Children
are
of
pretty
Morta.
recent. Children of Morta, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So those are more recent. But so when I think of a traditional roguelike, I think of turn by turn. That's what comes up for me, and that's what this one
Interesting. Okay.
fills. You know?
Well, I would say that, yeah, in my defense, most of the ones we talk about in the show are action based.
More recent ones
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
So, anyways, that being said, I like it because the action of roguelikes, if I fucking fail or I'm just bad at the mechanics or whatever, it's lights out and I have to do it all over again. But this one, because it is that slower paced, I can think about shit. And that's like the number one reason I'm still playing it, because I don't feel as dumb in these games, because I'm like, okay, I get what my power move is, I get what my items I have, and I've like, like any other roguelike, you've prepared yourself for the new dungeon or whatever. And I just feel so much more in control, even with bosses. Now I haven't played a ton, but I would say there's two things I like about it. One, off the bat, they start you, and it's not like terribly hard, right? I feel like you can. They literally hold your hand. They get you to a boss, and you're gonna beat that boss, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I played other roguelites where you're dying right away. You don't even get that kind of hand holding. So I just felt good about the process and like how to play it, because they did such, in my opinion, a great tutorial all the way up to a boss and then afterwards. And so I just felt like empowered, right?
Oh,
Which
that tutorial is great. And as I
it really
I went
is.
through it last night, I wanted to refresh my memory for the show today. And as I was going through the tutorial, I'm like, you know what? I feel like maybe they've tweaked the tutorial. I don't think it was this good before, but it's an excellent tutorial right now. Like they
Ah,
explain every aspect of it step by step. And like I had a question and my question was answered like by the very next thing that came up in the tutorial. And I'm like, oh, amazing. Like this is great. I had no questions by the end of it and got back into it. Like a good tutorial. I think, despite what some people want to say, I think a good tutorial is just key to any game. I love a really good tutorial.
I 100% agree. I mean, again, like, and also it's like the level of enemies that you put in front of you. It's like there was a challenge near the end, and the boss was still a challenge, but I felt like they wanted me to win that, right?
Right,
So
right.
you could be like, oh, I feel good about what I just learned and whatever. And even so I fought, I think, two or three more bosses, and I beat all of them. And I'm like, I'm never this good at roguelikes, because I think it's that combination of pacing, the weapon delivery, whatever they're doing with like what you can upgrade and what you're getting in those random drops, matched with the fact that it's that turn based. Because I finally lost last night for the first time against a boss, but I got him down really low, and I was like, that's on me. I'm fine with that loss, because I had plenty of moves. Again, no timing. I didn't have to rush around.
Exactly.
And I was literally going like, oh, I don't have any more items left. I guess I mismanaged one thing. Like I should have brought the health potion instead of the fucking fireball scroll, right? And I was like, I could have done this better, but that's an awesome place to be. So
Okay, so let's pause this for a second, because
yeah.
what you literally just said, that whole thing you said, that exactly is why I love roguelikes. That thing of turn by turn, you're constantly strategizing. It's all about like, what items do I have? How can I best use the items that I've found? Which item should I take? Which one's going to benefit me more? What's going to work better with my playstyle? And being able to just pause and strategize, like nothing's rushing at you. As
Right.
long as you don't move, nobody else is moving, so you can just really take in the board and think about what your options are. Where can I move? What's safe? What's not safe? What do I have? If I hit this guy, it's going to hit me back. How much life, can I afford to lose before getting out of this room? Like that whole minute to minute, like constant reevaluation, constant strategizing is what I love most about roguelikes. And that's kind of some of the things that we've gotten away from with more recent roguelikes, where they've kind of become real time and action based. There are still things that I like about the new ones, and I like them both. I'm not saying I like one over the other, but if I had to pick just one, I think I would pick the turn-based roguelike, because I really do love that, like, constant tactics, constant evaluation,
Yes.
constant reevaluation. I love that part. I mean, that's what makes the genre so great.
And it's interesting to that point. Boyfriend Dungeon's the opposite of that, right? Like it's
100%
like
the
here's
opposite.
a
Yeah.
million things that are going to kill you, and you're not going to survive this. And it's action based, and also I don't like the mechanics. Like, I feel like I'm fighting the controls. But that's what I'm saying. Like if Boyfriend Dungeon was turn by turn, I might have played it a little longer. I mean, I
Right.
didn't want to
Right.
go on dates with all those guys, but still.
Exactly.
And
And that's
then
kind of why I feel like it's not even really a dungeon crawler. It just has like randomized elements, like, or a
right,
roguelike, like I feel like there's certain criteria you have to meet to really be a roguelike. And a lot of people, it's like Souls like these days. Like it's just becoming a thing that people are
yes.
just saying without really understanding what defines that title. So I think we're seeing a lot of people get loosey goosey with roguelike.
And I think that's why I'm going to like Curse Golf. I'm guessing because I feel like it is that you've got to take a shot of golf. We talked about it last show. Google Curse Golf. I'm excited for it. You take a shot, right? And I'm feeling that's going to be turn by turn, right? I don't think you're going to be rushed
Oh
to do
yeah,
a
I mean,
golf shot.
sure, you make a
And
shot, you wait
so,
your turn, of
and so
course,
I
yeah.
love that because that's strategizing a golf shot move in a roguelike type game. I think we've, finally, and I could have probably back in episode 205, we've come upon what type of roguelikes I like, because this is it. Like there's no reason for me to stop playing. Like I might get super sad if I lose to a boss like a bunch of times, but so far the only boss I lost to, I kind of understood why I did. And again, to reiterate about the gameplay loop, you meet people in the world and you bring them back to your main hub, and then that skill tree opens up permanent fucking upgrades,
Yep, yep. You've got
which is a
permanent
huge
upgrades.
another part of it, right? And I feel
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
oh, all my hard work was for something, and I really like it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I love the balance of the randomness of each run, because you don't know what weapons you're going to get, you don't know what items you're going to get, you don't know even what abilities you're going to get. We didn't really mention this, but like when you beat a mini boss, they become a helper and you can
Oh
equip
yeah,
them.
the familiars.
Yeah, so if you beat a boss, like there's like a big chicken, there's like a dragon, there's like a water dude or whatever. When you beat these big monsters, or they're not bosses, but they're mini bosses, and you gain their powers, and so you can equip. I mean, I can equip I think up to 2 of them right now. I don't know if that
Yeah,
increases
yeah, I
later,
can do
but
two too.
yeah, so that's a really great thing. So you don't know which bosses you're going to get, but you do know that when you come back to the hub of the game, there are certain things that are just going to keep improving. So like I said, I restarted my game last night, erased my old data because I didn't remember what I was doing, started fresh, and like you said, the first lady you unlock is like the potion maker or something, and she unlocks permanent upgrades to your life up. So like you have a little Estus flask, like a little life up flask, and like the first one is like use it one more time. So instead of one use to your life up, you get 2 life ups. And then the next upgrade is like, oh, it'll do like 25% more healing. So even if you lose a run, if you have enough resources to buy that thing, the next time you go on a run, you're going to get that much further, because you can drink 2 health potions instead of 1.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a bigger boost the next time. And like you can unlock lots of those things in the dungeon. And just that little bit of progression, that permanence, really does empower you to feel keep going. Like if it was just a complete wipe, like the old school rogues, like that's too soul crushing. And
Yeah.
then some of these other ones just don't give you enough. But there's like a very fine balance, and I think all the good ones do it. My wife right now is actually going through Hades, which Hades, just to be perfectly honest, is not my favorite roguelike, but I don't really have any criticisms of it. I think the systems are amazing. There's like so much story, so much progression, so much things that are in there to like keep you going. It's a very masterclass example of like how to set up that breadcrumb trail for a perfect roguelike to keep you coming back. So I think Crown Trick does a lot of that same magic as well.
Yeah, and by the way, they do for sure. And another thing that I just remembered that I love about it, and literally is game changing for me, which is so funny. It's just one mechanic, but the warping. Oh,
Oh yeah, we should probably mention that. That is actually very key. Do you want to go into that real
yeah,
quick?
it's like a teleportation thing that she has the ability to do. Now it definitely takes a resource, and so you can run out of using it. But what's great, again, they're helping you at every turn. Like you get to certain sections and boss sections, and they refill it for you. So whatever you used will refill. So you can know that if you're taking on a boss or a familiar, you'll probably have your warp power back. And what your warp power is, the whole thing is based on little squares, and you can move around anywhere on the map. When you use the teleportation, it'll give you a limited range, but it's pretty big of where you can teleport to, and that is invaluable, especially with bosses,
Oh
because
yeah.
literally he's cornering me. And I'm in the corner, and I just teleport behind him, and I see his upcoming move because again it's turn based. So I go away from his upcoming move. I go right behind him. I do my familiar, and I'm all good. So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful mechanic.
That I think is probably one of the most genius things that Crown Trick adds. I mean, because in a roguelike like this, where it's turn by turn and the whole thing is based on a grid, I mean, positioning is so key. Like, you may have to skip a turn to get into a better position or wait for a guy to expose himself so you can, like, get the upper hand and not take the incoming hit. There's all sorts of like little turn by turn tricks you can do to like really, improve your chances of success. But that teleport is just like clutch because if you get in a corner and you can't get out, or someone's about to drop a big fireball on you and you're going to just eat it right in the face, if you have that teleport, you can get out, like you said, like get out from that danger zone, teleport behind the enemy, get them in as a backstab or something. That's really great. But it's also balanced because you can't spam it, right? You can only do it, I think, maybe 4 or 5 times, and then it runs out. So you got to be cautious. But like you said, if you get into a new zone, they refill it for you, and if you're really good about chaining your attack combos, you can refill it on the fly. Like if you're good with chaining attacks, you can refill your magic and
Oh,
refill your
that's right.
teleports.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you're on a roll, you're just dealing damage like crazy, like teleporting all around, like just hitting dudes. And if you keep it going, it just keeps refilling, so you can keep it going and just keep that win train rolling.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great system. Crown Trick is just really well done. I love everything about it. It's really smart in all respects. Very, very good stuff.
That reminds me of one last thing before we let it go. Is there's environment stuff too, right? So when you're saying if you keep chaining things together, you keep having your warp power. I remember a familiar or a boss I was fighting, and there was all these barrels that could explode, all
Yep,
around the
yep.
map. And so I was like, literally, one of my skills was like drop fireballs from the sky, and so it just hit everything, right? And so everything was blowing up. I kept warping around, blowing up more barrels. And literally, what's the awesomest thing is you can skip a turn. So when you skip a turn, they still come at you. But lots of times, if you time it right, they'll go walk into fire,
Yep.
or they'll
Yep.
walk into something that you just set up, basically like a trap. So I remember one time I just basically was warping around the whole screen, just doing spells. Like I didn't have to fight really. I was just like
Yeah.
spells, warp, and because it was a combo, like you said, it just kept refilling. So I literally went around the board warping and blowing things up, and nothing felt better than that because I'm not good at these games.
Well, I'm glad that you connected with this one. I'm very curious to see how you do. I think this is a really well done one. And, the mix between the classic style of turn by turn presentation, the turn by turn tactics, like the teleporting, using environmental tactics. I mean, this game basically has it all. I think it's just a really, really well done roguelike, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody who is interested in the genre. I think it's just a great example. So I'm back into it now because you talked about it, and if you're going to keep
Nice.
going, I'm very curious to see how we end up.
Yeah.
This is good stuff, and Britta, I hope we covered it to your satisfaction, and definitely let us know how you're coming along with it. I know that you started it a day or two ago, so let us know how it's progressing. There we go. That is Crown Trick. Moving on, let me speak for a few minutes about the new DLC for Frostpunk. Did you ever play Frostpunk, Carlos?
Oh my goodness. I just we've done too many episodes because you might have asked me that question
I'm sure I have.
4 times. I think at this point though, we might have to like, get something checked out.
I don't even remember, dude. What did you
Oh
say
my
last time?
goodness. Well, first off, we both talked about it on the show at least once or twice.
Probably.
I think I brought it to you.
Maybe you did.
I
Who
think I
knows,
did
man?
because you were like, Carl's that weird strategy game. I really like it. And
I'm
then
just living in the moment here, man. Like,
Okay,
I'm
it's
living for
fine.
today.
I'm
so
not.
whatever
I'm not.
happens today is just,
Okay, we've never talked about it before.
brand new game to the
Yes.
show.
What's this? No, I have played Frostpunk, and I didn't play the DLC, but I thought we talked about it on this show already. But maybe
We have
we
not
didn't.
talked about it.
Okay.
So there was Frostpunk. Okay, for people who don't know, it is a isometric real. Well, I mean, I don't want to say it's a real time strategy. It resembles a real time strategy game, although you can pause it
You can
anytime.
pause
So
it.
I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
that doesn't. I guess that kind of negates the real time aspect of it. But it's set in a future where the world is turning cold. You have the last remaining bastion of humanity huddled around this giant generator, and your job is to keep the generator running and produce enough heat for the people who are living around it so they can survive this bitter cold. You also have to like find enough coal to power the generator, somehow find enough food, build people enough houses. There's like 100 different problems that you're going to get running this like totally like apocalyptic little bastion of people. So it's all kinds of challenges, but there's also like you're just managing the whole thing, making sure the generator doesn't break down and people don't revolt and nobody freezes to death. And it's just a really great game. I had a great time with it when I jumped into it. Not something that I usually would play, but I think that the ability to pause was a big plus for me. Also, the entire game basically takes place on just like one screen, more or less. And I really liked having everything just in view, so I could feel like I had a pretty good control of what was going on. Usually with like an RTS kind of game, I'll be on the east side of the map and something's happening on the west side, and I'm missing what's going on, and I get over there and my resources are gone, and then by the time I get that sorted, something's wrong on the other side of the map, and it's really frustrating to me. I don't
Yeah.
enjoy that. So I like that. So I really like Frostpunk a lot. After you beat the game, which I did beat, there are 3 bonus scenarios, and I beat all those as well. That might have been what we talked about the last time we had it on the
I
show.
think that's right. Yep.
Where you have like 3 different areas you're going to with different challenges. Those were all very cool and neat. I enjoyed them all. But this is brand new DLC. It just came out, I want to say, last week. It's been on PC for a while, but it's new to console, which is where I played it. One is called The Last Autumn. This is DLC that takes place before the main game, before the world became cold. So everything is like normal Earth temperature, and you are trying to build the generator because scientists have a feeling that the Earth is going to get cold soon, so they want to get this done before the cold sets in. The other DLC is called On the Edge. That takes place after the ending of the main game when the world is still frozen. I have not gotten to that one yet, and I'll tell you why. Because I am super stuck on The Last Autumn, and it is just crushing my soul, dude. It's killing me. It is hurting me, my feelings. It is making me feel bad as a person.
Jeez.
So I really like this game a lot. I want to be super clear. I love Frostpunk. I recommend it to anybody even people who don't think they like RTS games like me. I don't like them in general, but I love this one. I think the tone is great. The artwork is great. Themes are great. It's just really, really well done. It works great on console. But this Last Autumn DLC, it's like post-game DLC, and I feel like they've got it ratcheted up just a little bit too high. You have to, so it's nice because you don't have to worry about the cold. The Earth is not cold at this point; it's just normal temperature. So
it's autumn out.
Yeah, it's like autumn. Like it's a little bit of nippy in the air, but it's fine. You don't.
Wait. Is this a prelude because they called the last autumn because it's about to go to the snow age?
Exactly. It is the last autumn before the snow age.
It's a sad moment then.
It is definitely a sad moment. So that's what you're doing. Like you go to this place. The generator is not built, so there's a giant hole in the ground. You need to like get enough metal. You need to ship in some workers. You got to ship in some food. You got to get this thing built because the people don't know what's happening, but the scientists know what's happening, and nobody's telling the people. So they're like, "Why are we out here building this thing?" And they're like, "Shut up and just earn your paycheck." And so that's kind of cool. Like I like that whole tone, and knowing what you already know from the main game, like you know where this is going. Like the Earth is going to freeze soon, and it's just a really neat little kind of like companion piece to the main game. But the problem with The Last Autumn is, I mean, number one, I was playing Frostpunk like a year ago, so I forgot everything about the game, and jumping back into like post-game DLC is a challenge. I struggled and struggled. I feel like I got back into it now, but the learning curve was pretty steep, so I wish I had played it back in the day. But putting that aside, the gimmick to the last autumn is that you don't need to worry about the cold anymore. No one's going to freeze to death, which is great. And at first you're like, well, that's amazing. This is going to be so easy because no one's going to freeze. I don't got to worry about nothing. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Totally super not true, because you're on such a tight timeline before the snow comes in. You're just like racing against the clock from the jump, right? Like there's constant deadlines, constant things you got to like race to, and there's always like 15 things going wrong at once. It's like the working conditions in the pit are terrible and we're going on strike, and these people are too sick and we don't have enough doctors, and hey, we're out of coal over here, and what's going on with this? And it's like there, I mean, that's basically what the main game of Frostpunk is, but it just feels like there's one element too many. And I think for me, the thing that really kind of broke my brain was that there's a lot of new elements in the DLC that were not there before. So you're building new buildings. These buildings make new resources, and you have to kind of like learn what they do and what they're for. And the only way to really learn that is by failing. And so I'm not a big fan of that, right? Like, I feel like in the original Frostpunk, they were giving you more of a heads up. Like, for example, they'd be like, hey, there's a big storm coming in 9 days. We should probably have 500 units of coal saved up,
Right.
and 1,000 units of food. That's probably what we should do.
It goes back to the tutorial, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I felt like even though Frostpunk is pretty hard, they gave you enough warning, and once you knew, like, hey, I better pay attention to that warning, then it was fine. With this one, I feel like they don't give you enough warnings, and there's so many new elements of like, hey, the guys are on strike, you better solve it. And I'm like, how do I even solve the strike? I don't even know what buttons to push to solve the strike, right? Because it's a new mechanic and they don't tutorialize it very well. And it's like, oh, hey, we have these new things that we're building. We need to have safety precautions because the workers don't want to get killed. And I'm like, cool. How do I even do that? Like, I don't even know how I do it. And it took me like 2 or 3 runs through the game before I'm like, okay, now I know it's in a menu within this other menu, and if I click left on this tab, then there it is, and I didn't know where it was. So I feel like you're kind of doomed to fail the first 3 or 4 runs minimum, because you're just learning all the new stuff. But I feel like it's kind of too much stuff, and I feel like the time span that you're working with is really tight. I mean, I've tried it, I think maybe 8 times, and I've failed every single time. And I get a little bit further every time, but I don't ever feel like this is the time, I made it, like I got it all figured out. I just feel like I'm just like, I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, if I do better one way, then I'm doing worse another way. And if I try to shore up that other thing, then I'm doing worse on the first thing. And I just haven't figured out the solution. And it feels a little bit like maybe there's one specific way you should be doing this, and I haven't quite figured that out. Whereas in the main game, I feel like there's many different approaches you could take, and maybe not one of them is correct. One might be easier, one might be harder, but it felt like there was several ways you could win it. And this way, with the last autumn, I mean, maybe that's not true. Maybe there's multiple ways you could do it. But to me, so far, it feels like with as much fail as I'm eating, it feels like I'm just not grokking the key to unlock the whole thing. And I'm failing and failing. I like it. I love Frostpunk. I think this is a cool DLC, but wow, it is really hard. And I'm struggling with it. So I'm going to take a break, because I'm getting really depressed and sad, and I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, you don't want that out of your
I gotta kind of put it up for a while. And because I didn't finish the last autumn, I have not touched On the Edge yet. So I will get to that at some point. Hopefully that will be, I don't know, challenging in a different way. So we'll see what goes on.
And do you think On the Edge is like takes place time-wise after that one, right?
Yeah, that is after the main game, so the world is still frozen. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I mean, I guess it's got to be about how do we continue to survive when the world keeps plunging towards absolute zero. So yeah, we'll see what that one's about.
To back you up, though, I've not played this expansion, but I did play the original Frostpunk, and you're right. I mean, I don't remember failing as much, and I feel like I took a bunch of random shots at things. Like, I made like the Warlord hut, right? Like, you make these, and I was like, I don't know what that does, which, by the way, means that even in the original, they didn't really tell me much, because I don't remember being told what they do. And I was like, I'm going to send them out to hunt, I guess. Is that a good thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't like eat shit for it. I remember like getting pretty far in that game without like, before I like died the first time. And then, I don't know. And by the way, did they also do, one of my favorite things of Frostpunk is that you can look at like individual people.
Oh yeah, that's still there. You can zoom in on any one citizen.
Yeah, like one kid's like he's playing, and then one lady's like, she's super depressed. And she's just laying down for a bit. Like, I don't know.
That
I got a
stuff
kick
is
out
all
of that.
there.
Yeah.
You have the citizen micro stories. If you want to zoom in on everybody, you can do that. there are still the same story events that pop up, like, oh, there's an explosion in the mine. What do we do? And oh,
Right.
hey, the people need amputations. Do you pay for them or don't you? And like there's all sorts of that stuff, which is great. I just feel like it's kind of falling prey to that like typical post game DLC where the developers are just like making it harder. Like I don't know about you, but like if I want DLC, I kind of want either. I mean, I don't want to say I want exactly more of the same. I mean, I want something that's different. I don't necessarily want harder. I think I just want different, right? And
Yeah.
the first three DLCs were all that. Like in the first DLC, it was like you had no workers, but you had a bunch of robots, and so you had to figure out how to best use the robots. In one of the other DLCs, it was like, oh, you had to like preserve these seeds, and like above all, you had to make sure the seeds didn't freeze. So what was required for that? And in this other one, it was like you had so many people, like you couldn't feed them all, and what do you do? And who do you let inside the city, and who do you not? And so they each had like different challenges, but I wouldn't say that they were necessarily harder. They were just different. But I feel like the last autumn, I mean, at least to me, it feels like it's just harder with more things to
Yeah.
juggle and a tighter timeline, which isn't necessarily what I want from this experience. But
I-
I'm not quitting. I love Frostpunk in general. I really, really want to finish this one. It's kind of eating away at me. So I'm going to come back to it, but it's on pause for now.
Real quick tangent, and this
Yeah.
because this is the tangent episode. Maybe write that down.
Every episode is a tangent episode.
So the tangent is, yeah, how frustrating is it? Developers, like, if someone's beaten your game and they want DLC, like, I think it should be reward, right? Like, it shouldn't be like, let's make it harder for them. Let's make
Yeah.
it challenging. It's like, no, let's give them more playground, or like you said, just a different approach.
Yeah.
I think that is 100% true for a lot of DLC. So yeah, that is frustrating. Just I should think it should be a different perspective, or if anything, easier. Just because you want to be in that world more. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, and I've played with the settings. I've tried to like make it easier on myself, and like it just doesn't really seem to make a difference. It's really challenging, and I guess I'm just not looking for challenge at this point. I'm just looking to like explore the world and to just kind of take in the story. And I love the ambiance of the whole thing. It's really good, really well done. So
Yeah.
I'll try again. We'll keep cracking at it. Let me move on to one other thing real quickly here. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2, which must be in the running for the longest title.
Yeah, I
of anything
would
we've covered on the
say.
show. Was sent a code for this from the publisher for the purposes of talking about it right now, which we are literally doing in real time.
Is this
Um,
real quick before I let you get started? Is this
yeah.
in any way related to Sniper series? Like, I think I played Sniper 4 Elite. I want to say. I'm writing it down right now. Yeah, I played
You
Sniper
know,
4 Elite.
I think Sniper, that series, I believe, is by Rebellion, and
It
I
is by
don't think
Rebellion.
this is by Rebellion. This is
Oh,
by
okay.
CI Games. So I think it's a
Okay.
different, same subject material, but a different approach and different, not related, although they both have Sniper in the title.
Tangent. People, if you want a sniper game, I know you're about to talk about a sniper game, so
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not stepping on any your own review, but I don't even like those types of games, and I really had a fun time with Sniper Elite 4. That's all I'm saying.
That
I
is
really
good
did.
to know.
It's
That is good to
random. I
know.
played it randomly, and it was like super fun. I don't know why. Okay, go ahead.
All right, right on, right on. So yeah, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. I still can't get over that title. It's goofy. It is a brand new sniper game, as you can probably guess from the title. This is it's kind of like a sci-fi, and not crazy wild sci-fi, but it's sci-fi in the sense of like you've got some equipment that doesn't quite exist in the world just yet. Like for example, you have a face mask which is like full of technology, and it like syncs up with your scope on your gun. Like I don't think that's a real piece of technology, which seems like somebody could maybe invent that, but nobody has invented it yet. It's just near future kind of stuff, right? So it's not wild spaceships and stuff, but definitely a few things. Like there's these bullets you have, which I mean, I guess they have little like AI chips built inside the bullet. So if you have to make a really long shot and you're having a lot of trouble aiming, you can just fire and the bullet will find the target for you. It'll like auto adjust on its
Oh, like a
own.
mini drone or mini
Exactly,
missile.
like a mini,
Yeah.
like a bullet drone sort of a thing. So as far as I know, that's not a real technology, but it seems like maybe somebody can invent that. Although people, please don't invent that. 'Cause
I'm
we don't
sure
need,
it's invented.
we don't need more
We
death
don't.
bringing technology. Anyway, so it's that kind of environment where there's like just like technology plus one sort of stuff going on. So it's pretty neat. Graphics look great. It kind of starts out with sort of like a Far Cry system where you're going into a country, you want to depose the ruler, and along the way there's like all these generals who are below them, so you need to go and like take out the people who are below those sub generals, and then eventually you get to the general, and then eventually you get to the leader of the country. Pretty standard progression, which I think is fine, makes sense. One thing that I think was really strange is that from the opening sequence, it seems like you're kind of a bad guy, or you're a bad guy going after other bad guys. Basically, the conflict is that there's destabilization in the region, and these rulers that you're there to depose were bad people. But I guess the people who were hiring you didn't care because the oil was flowing, and now that the oil is not flowing, you're being sent in to get that oil flowing again. And it's like, well, that, huh, feel kind of weird about that. Like, I feel like I'm getting sent in to just kill somebody to make sure the oil starts flowing, not because I want to free the people or not because they're doing violence to anybody. It's just it's like a financial sort of a thing. So that's a very interesting approach. I did not get very far in this story, so I don't know how it goes. But that opening sequence really did kind of like give me pause for a moment about, huh, I don't know if I feel super good about doing this.
Although, that being said, there's so many military games out there right now that you shouldn't be feel good about what they're doing either. Because
I mean,
if you look at it in its face value,
I mean, absolutely true. And I think it just kind of goes to show, I guess I just don't play many military games in general.
Right.
So
You're like, wait,
this
is what they do?
Is this all military games now? Because this makes me feel a little bit skeevy. But getting to the mechanics, I think the mechanics are pretty well done. And I will say that although I do not have a lot of experience with sniper games in general, this one really took a lot of time in the tutorial to explain how your gun worked. And they really like got into it, like several different scopes, different like things you could adjust on your scope. And they kind of explain like what the little crosshair hatches are for and like how to measure your target to know how many yards away they are. And then there's like a little thing that talks about like bullet drop, because bullets are subject to gravity and they fall over the length of time that they're in the air.
Yep.
And there's also like a wind speed sort of a thing, and if the wind is blowing, it's going to push your bullet ever so slightly to the side. And you can turn all that stuff off if you want. If you want to just like super hardcore, go for it. But like me, like I'm not super experienced with doing these, and I turned everything on, and it was great because there was like so much help that was available. Like the scope showed you like a red dot, but the red dot was not on your target. The red dot was actually on where your bullet was going to go. So it took into account automatically like the distance and the bullet drop and the wind and the speed and all that stuff. And so it was like, oh, your target is right here in the middle of your crosshairs. But what you really want to do is you want to aim 3 feet up and 2 feet to the left, because when the bullet gets to where they are, it's going to move that far. And then you'll hit your target if you follow the advice that your like roboscope is giving you. So, I mean, that part was pretty cool. And it was really interesting to see how wrong I was when I was like judging my shots.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, I think I needed to shoot right here. And it's like a mile away from the target, right? So like having all that automatic help was great. And I really appreciated seeing those systems. So I just cracked it today. I mean, the graphics look good. I'm in the world where you're kind of creeping through. You got to, you get dropped off on the edge of a map. You got to sneak your way through, avoid soldiers or kill soldiers. You're trying to get to a sniper perch. And once you get to the sniper perch is when you take your shot up against the bad guys. So it seems pretty cool so far. I don't know about the story. Question marks on the story, whether you're a shady character or not. But in terms of mechanics, it seems really well done and really, really geared towards people like me who maybe are not the greatest snipers. And there's a lot of assistance there to help you kind of get through it. So pretty neat from that respect.
Quick question on like the actual shots. Like I always get kind of like weird when I talk about shooting people in games, even now. But the thing I liked about Sniper Elite 4 and that zombie one, Zombie Army, is that what's called?
Oh yeah, Zombie Army. Yeah.
Both those had this really cool like slow-mo, kill cam, all that kind of crap. But it actually made it satisfying, because you had like these moments where you do a headshot or whatever, and it's like it's slow motion. Does it do that kind of stuff?
I believe it does. I haven't gotten any really juicy kills yet, but in the menu there was something about like bullet cam. You can like have it happen more often or less often, and then you can scale the gore up or down. So
okay.
I believe I am in for some pretty gory kills, but I haven't gotten any really good shots off yet.
It just made me like there's this loop when a good sniper game, again, I don't play many of them, but that Sniper Elite 4, and it sounds like this one probably does it well too. It just, there's like a hook, it's kind of like, ooh, that's somehow satisfying in a gameplay way. Not like I made the guy's head blow up, but like
right.
you did whatever you were calculating, the stuff you just talked about, the distance or whatever, it's like a puzzle. And then when you do that and you get it, it just feels like, you won its mini game.
Exactly. That's like you're instead of a jackpot, you get like an exploding scrotum off of like a zombie.
Oh, yeah, to go there. Away. Jeez Louise.
I mean, it happens. It happens.
I don't think it's ever happened, but go. Okay.
No, that is legit. That is a real thing.
Oh my
goodness. Shoot a zombie in his rotten nutsack and it'll explode. So
I forgot.
Yeah, legit. All right, that is Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. I have one more game, Carlos. We're kind of
Oh
off
my
kilter
goodness,
with
you
today's
do.
script.
Yeah,
I
because
did just
I'm
one
done.
final
I'm out
one.
of games
Yeah,
over here.
you're out of games. Okay, just wanted to check with you really quickly before we roll to a close here. Stealth launch, I guess. I didn't hear much about this game before it launched.
Oh, I
The
thought you were saying
Artful.
that's the name of the game and you didn't
No, no,
know
no,
it.
no, no, no,
The
no.
next
That
game
would.
is Stealth Launch?
That's a cool name for a game, but no, that is not. That is not the name of the game. I meant to say like this game that I'm about to talk about got kind of a stealth launch because I don't know a lot of people knew that it was coming. I didn't hear a lot about it before it released. I got contacted by PR from Annapurna. We talk about Annapurna pretty often on the show.
I'm listening.
I'm always interested in what they have to say. So PR reached out ahead of time and they're like, "Hey, would you like to review The Artful Escape? Have you heard about this one?"
Oh, I have. Yeah, I
Okay,
have.
so maybe you heard some PR. I didn't hear a lot about it. It kind of just like came out, it feels like, but they did give me a pre-release copy for the purposes of review and to talk about it on the show, which I'm doing literally right now. And my review, speaking of which, is up on GameCritics.com right now, so you can feel free to jump on over and see my full thoughts. The Artful Escape is a 2D. Uh, I hesitate to even call it a platformer because you do some platforming, but this game, at its heart, is basically like an interactive music video where it's a game. I'm not saying it's not a game, but it's like the point of this game is to unleash some like rocking guitar riffs while you're looking at super psychedelic visuals. And you're kind of just like moving your character through this world as you are absorbing the music, absorbing the visuals. It's not really there to challenge you because the platforming is super easy. And if you miss a platform, you just simply try again. There's no lives, there's no punishment, there's no fail state. Like they're just like, oh, you missed your jump, go back and try that again, and you can do that as many times as you like. And it's kind of just like this AV experience where it's just like bombast and colors and sounds and like the guitar is going and your character is like running through space and time and clouds and aliens and just all this like weird stuff. Like I feel like if you smoked a joint before you like played this game, like you would be in for like the time of your life, right?
Dude, okay, I gotta stop you for a minute. You're right on all the things you just described. I've been waiting for this game, and I wish I would have gotten the partial code or like a could have shared the code. So I'm gonna
Well,
go.
I can get in touch. Maybe I can get you
Maybe
a
could you
spare one.
because
We'll
it doesn't
see.
come out till September. Wait, it comes out soon.
It's out. It came out tomorrow. Comes
Oh,
out
okay,
tomorrow.
yeah. Well, anyways, if you could get a code, if not, I'll
I
pick
will
it up
see what we can do. Maybe we'll talk
because
about it next
I've been
episode.
waiting for this. So this is basically like an indie movie in a cartoon, like
Basically,
right? Like it feels like because it's got Jason Schwartzman in it
it does.
from Rushmore and a million other things, all Westerners films. It has Carl Weathers also.
Carl Weathers. Yep, he's in it too.
And it just, I remember seeing the trailer a while ago. I'm on board right away. I'm interested to see if you kept with it, but like, wow, I want to play it.
So here's the thing. So there is a story. It's not just music and sounds. I mean, there is a story about a kid who wants to play like sci-fi, crazy like rock opera stuff, but his uncle is a really world famous folk musician. He's kind of like a Bob Dylan sort of a guy, right? And so everybody in his family, everybody in his town is expecting him to carry on the folk music legacy, but that's not where his heart is at. And so he's feeling really conflicted. He doesn't want to like disappoint everybody in his town and his family, but at the same time, he just doesn't really like folk music and he wants to do like rock. And so that's the basic conflict of the game. What happens is aliens show up and they're like, "Yo, we need like a person to come into outer space with us and play sick guitar." And
Of
he's
course.
like, "Of course I'm going to do that." Um, the story I think is pretty good, and it's really strange because I feel like this is like 1 inch away from being a really really good story about like a trans person. I feel like with just a little bit of a script tweak, this could be like an amazing trans narrative. I feel like, in fact, that's what I thought it was going towards. I felt like it was building up towards that, and then it kind of just didn't, which was really strange. Like I was like, man, you were so close. Why did you not just that one extra step would have got you there? But okay, whatever. Maybe that's not really the point. But a lot of the themes that come up in the story, I feel like are really applicable to people who go through a trans experience. Not that I'm speaking from experience, but just from people I know and from talking to people.
Right,
and
like the
stuff.
hardships and feeling maybe alienated or whatever. It seems like that might be part of it.
Finding your true self and being
Yeah.
open and getting acceptance from people. So, again, I'm not trying to speak to that myself, but just based on what I pick up through Twitter and from people that I know in my personal life. Seems to me like this would be a pretty good trans narrative if they had just tweaked a couple things. That's not what it is, but anyway, it is ultimately about finding yourself, being okay with yourself, accepting who you are, your true self. So I think those are all good messages. But man, like I think that guitar in this game is pretty cool. I really like the soundtrack; it's really nice. But also the visuals are just crazy, way over the top. Like I took so many screenshots of this game of just like as I was running through it, just like every scene is like more trippy than the last. Like these desert scapes, and there's like fish in the sky, and there's like aliens with light shooting out of their eyes, and you're in the stars, and clouds are all over. The clouds are glowing,
All
and it's just
right,
like,
I want to play
oh
it
my god,
already. I'm
it's
getting
it's
jealous over here.
it's pretty insane. So if you approach it with the idea of this is a playable music video, because playing the guitar is not hard. It's just like at its worst, it's like a real simple Simon Says game, and it's not really that challenging at all. And I don't think it's trying to be. Most of the jumping is just single button, and if you fall, you just try it again. If you mess up the guitar riff, they're just like, whatever, try again. Like there's no the audience doesn't like boo you, and you don't feel bad. You don't get kicked off the stage. They're just like, just try again.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it till you get it right, which I think is fine. Because this is the kind of game that I feel like you want to just get in a groove, and you want to just groove all the way to the end. Like you don't want to stop, you don't want to restart, you don't want to like do the same piece over again, which I think is the trap that a lot of these games kind of fall into. I think these developers understand that the continuity and the immersion of the experience is the most important thing. It's not about testing your gamer skills and see if you're elite enough to like get to the end. It's just enjoy the songs, enjoy the visuals, enjoy the show, you know? Like that's
Yeah.
what this game is all about.
Or enjoy the
And this,
movie. It just seems like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
an indie film, really.
Well, I actually make that specific point in my review where I say that it's not a movie, it's more of a music video, because I feel like
Ah,
that's, you can look check my review if you want. I'm not going to get it here, but like that's, I think, an important distinction to make, because I feel like in this particular instance, it's just about the AV, the emotion, the sound. Like it's not really trying to tell a story in the same way that a movie is telling a story, and it's kind of just like just the experiential sort of thing. So for me, that's where I drew the line, and I feel like it's really really successful as an interactive music video, which is what I took it for and what I would recommend it as. So if you're looking for like a platformer or some kind of like, specific game that falls into a very narrow genre, maybe don't come to this. But if you're open and you just want to like get some sick guitar tunes and some really trippy landscapes that would be on the cover of like Heavy Metal magazine or something, then yeah, this is awesome. Like I played it all the way through. I thought it was great. I had a great time. I loved it from start to finish, and I really appreciated it was doing something different. Like it wasn't about challenge. It wasn't about proving I was a gamer. It was just about kick back, push a few buttons, enjoy the songs, enjoy the sights, and by the time that you're over, you got a cool little story about self-acceptance, and then you're done. Like it was just great from start to finish. I loved
sounds
it.
great. Developer is called Beethoven and Dinosaur, which is also great. I'm
Cool
like
name.
saying this in a weird kind of voice of like, yeah, jealousy, which I have rarely had on this show. But talk to them. I'd love to get a code. I'd love to talk about this in a future episode, because basically, here's my last tangent for the show. Is whatever you just described, and I haven't even played it, but I did watch the trailer a while ago, is what I want more of out of, in quotes, games, and why I hate calling video games. Because if you think of Dear Esther or, tons of Gone Home or whatever, all these games that are more experiential.
Right.
Ooh,
Right.
big word number 2. And it is, I like how I thought it's a big word, and you're like, Carlos, it's just a normal word.
I didn't say that.
Well, I heard you thinking it. Anyways, those games, I want more experiences that aren't difficult, because they just want to show you something. They want to bring you this kind of movie-like or music video-like experience. And I feel like those are few and far between. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't think we get as many of those as I think maybe we should. And that's kind of one point that I bring up in my review, is like I feel like Hollywood has been chasing interactive movies when they really should have been chasing interactive like music videos, or something that is just more experiential rather than trying to replicate like the cinematic experience with like playability bolted onto it, like a David Cage sort of thing, or something like that. So I mean, that's up for debate. That's just a thought that I had when I was going through this game, but I definitely agree with you. I think we should have more of these things. I mean, of course, then it gets back to, oh, well, this game's only 2 hours long and I finished my first way through and I'm getting a refund on Steam because that always happens, right? Like we need to have an audience who's willing to accept these things for what they are, which is probably the next big step in video game evolution. But for me, who was ready for a different kind of experience, who was ready to do something that wasn't about testing my skills and just was about bringing me some fucking amazing graphics and some great guitar, I'm like, yeah, I'm down for this. So I'm in. It was great.
All right. I want to play it now, tonight, somehow. I can't.
All right. Well,
All
I'll
right.
see what I can do. I can't make any promises, but we'll see what I can do. But anyway, I do give it a good recommendation if you want something that sounds like a playable music video. The title is not the greatest. The Artful Escape is not really very clear about what kind of experience it is. But other than that, I think this is a great title. I really loved it a lot.
Okay. Hey, before we go, because the show's over, right?
Show's over.
I have one thing that's, I guess, another tangent. But I'm about to. You're gonna always ask me where should people find you this week. I'm jumping ahead. Let's just change it up. And you can find me on TikTok. Just a lot of things comedy. So search for a lot of things comedy. And I'm just starting a new style of TikTok, which is where I kind of give information about cool shit that I like. And this next one, I'm going to ask you a question. You can see if you can know the answer.
Okay.
Because that's what some of these TikToks are. It's like I find really interesting information and then I just kind of react to it. So my TikTok that's going up right now, but at the time of this episode, it's already up. So again, you can watch it. There'll be a two-parter. What is the first console RPG? And I can give you one hint. First console RPG.
The first console that existed or that I played?
No. I'm asking you. There's an answer to this.
Oh,
and
okay.
in my TikTok, I'm saying this is the first console RPG. Holy crap!
Oh. So like a historical fact.
Yeah, this is a fact. What do you think it was? Or
dude,
I'm guessing.
I mean,
what? No.
Console. I mean, so consoles go back further than even I do. So I mean, for me, probably Dragon Warrior, but it probably even goes back further than that. I mean, I guess it depends on what your definition of RPG is. I mean, maybe some people would say, Adventure on 2600, or maybe something on.
You're close.
Something on one of those systems like a ColecoVision or something that I didn't have. I mean, I'm guessing it's one of those jobbies.
Is on Atari 2600. That's your only hint, but you still won't get it.
Nah, if it's not Adventure, I don't know what it is.
So Adventure did come out, but this is after it. It's called Dragon Stomper, which is a great name.
Dragon Stomper.
And it actually had like NPCs and like, you were definitely just like a little white square, but like there was a dragon and there was like a wilderness and there was like progression, and it's terrible graphics to this day and age, it's like Atari graphics, but it literally is essentially the first console RPG because there was RPGs on computer at that time, but not on a console that you would have at home. Because you just had, like you said, Adventure, which was not in anything, really. But this had a little bit more to do and a little bit of a story. And so it literally technically is the first RPG.
Wow, I'm looking at it on Google Images right now, and holy smokes. I had no idea this game even existed. It definitely looks like an Atari game.
See,
and apparently
that's the kind of stuff you can find on my TikTok now. I'm gonna dig in the trenches, and find interesting information. But no, it's my newest one. I just thought you'd find it interesting.
I did not know that. I learned something today.
Yay!
I have been enriched.
End of show.
End of show. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. This is the end of the show. As always, send us your questions and comments. SoVideoGamesPodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter @SoVideoGames. We just heard about where Carlos can be found. As for me, Twitter, Instagram, BradGallaway, always no O's. And that's going to do it for episode 249. Thank you again for joining us here, and we'll see you next Friday. But in the meantime, this is bye from Brad.
Bye from Carlos. And also, I just realized I'm going to play Thronebreaker on Game Pass.
Thronebreaker.
Yes, it's the CD Projekt Red Witcher.
Oh, that is an amazing game. I love that game.
And I never played it.
That's the story in that game kicks ass.
Did you beat it?
So good. No, dude. I got like so close. That game is actually really long. I got so close to the end, and I had to do some stuff for review, so I never finished it. But I saved my game. I'm gonna come back to it.
Oh.
That story is awesome, and the main character also awesome.
Why don't we bring it to next episode, and you can jump back in, or in a couple episodes from now.
I gotta find some time to make that happen.
But
yeah, that game is top shelf, dude.
Okay, well, I'm gonna load it up tonight because that's the only one I found on Game Pass that I'm excited about. So
so good, love it. Okay, man.
All right, bye.
Bye.